this particular domain name made me $500 in less than 24 hours. I'm going to walk you through how I did this, and you can do it too. So mosquitobites.com, what is the first impression that comes to your mind? Hey, why this dude registered this domain name? This doesn't really sound grammatically correct. Grammatically correct. Did I say dramatically? Okay, grammatically correct. I'm not going to edit my videos. Yeah. So why did he register this? Why couldn't he find any other domain name? Or maybe, this particular guy actually got lucky. The reasons can be thousands. So I'm into witchcraft too. Okay. Yeah, you can put that as well. But yeah, mosquitosbites.com. The reason I was looking for such niche-based domain name was because I was researching on a lot of keywords, and I wanted to find something that's evergreen, that would make me profit no matter what, that might sound unique and brandable. So this domain name was actually a part of my research. So what I did was I purchased this as well as other domain names. I'm not going to show you every domain name of mine. Why? Because of the privacy concerns. Some of these domain names are actually developed. This is not developed. Why? Because the person who purchased this from me has actually put on a price of $888. So I'm going to talk about the lander afterwards. But why mosquitosbites.com? First of all, I told you about the first thing. This is an evergreen niche. No matter what, you face mosquito issues. If you're in a tropical humid environment, you will face. So there is always scope of such domain names. There are a lot of companies that run and do these types of things specifically. So now I'm going to show you the other possibilities that could have happened. I could have registered mosquitobites.com or maybe mosquitobite.com, not these S's and plurals, but let me show you. Alright, so look over here. Mosquitobites.com, this was taken. Mosquitobite.com, even this was taken. And the last possibility, mosquitosbite.com, even this was taken. And now you can see all of these domain names have something in common. Whereas my domain name had a lander of buy now, price of I guess $1,000, and a make offer price of $300 or $200. Okay, so I'm gonna post the screenshot where you can see the guy who actually bought this domain name from me made an offer of $500, and I simply accepted it. Why? Because in less than 24 hours I got what I wanted. But why did I only get? Why not others? Because their domain names actually were better, isn't it? So I'm gonna show you why. If you click on any domain name, you can do your research. Okay, these names are always going to be there. So the lander opens. Okay, and if you scroll down, okay, then only you see this. Okay, click here to buy mosquitobite.com as your website name, or call us at this. So when you click on this, okay, let me show you. Okay, first of all, the lander is pretty slow. Yeah. So you end up over here. Now you gotta enter your details, okay? And then the GoDaddy broker is gonna come and contact you. This takes time, okay? Whereas if you come to my domain name, there was a lander. So you don't have to do anything. You simply have to press the next button. You gotta make the payment, and the domain name is gonna be yours. So this is why I always tell you guys to have a lander, okay? You should have a lander. You should have a buy now price. If not a buy now price, then a make offer price, where the person can at least make you an offer, okay? But if you really want to be very good at sales, the maximum sales results I've ever got was placing a domain name at a price range of $500 to $1,500, $2,000 with a buy now price. Now, not everyone would want to negotiate. Now, this person who bought this domain name from me is actually making a smart move here. He has a buy now price. And if you think the price is a lot, what you can do is you can press on to the lease to own option. Now, what is this going to do is, now you're going to pay $111 every month till you finish this money, and you know how the installments and the things work, right? So this is where the lease to own comes into play. If you have a domain name that is actually very much valuable according to you, because this is the price tag and everything is very subjective, okay? So you can opt for lease to own option. One who buys domain name, the one who is making, and the one is providing services. You never know whose budget is what, but you should always be ready to serve everyone, isn't it? So this is what you should be doing: placing a domain name at a price and then a lease to own, so that anyone can just press on this and buy, so that they don't have to go through a lot of processes and think whether it is up for buying or not. Or maybe a lot of clients will pull them off and say, maybe I can find a better deal, and maybe I can find another domain name. So give them options, okay? But when you come over here, this domain name is trying to actually make a revenue from the traffic. As I talked about the traffic, all these keywords make around 30 to 40,000 searches back then, Now even if you check, 10 to 12,000 is a basic thing for such keywords. So if you see over here, face treatment, there is a lot of ads running. These ads are not really specific, but if you come on the other domain name over here, mosquitosbite.com, you can see termite, you can see mosquito repellent. So this is actually the ads over here are pretty good. So if I click over here, this person is going to make a revenue, but this topic is for some other day. Now coming back over here, yeah, so this was the reason. I had a lander, the person didn't want to waste much time. He thought maybe this domain name might work. He purchased it. Okay, so now a lot of you will say, why would he put the money on mosquitoes bites, why not anything else? So you may or may not know, but even in the present scenario, even in the present days, we actually pronounce some words that are really grammatically wrong, but we use them as phrases, and it just goes on and on. So this is where mosquitoes bites made sense to him. Now again, a lot of people might not like this domain name. They would want mosquitobites.com or maybe mosquitobite.com. Anything can happen. Now just consider yourself having a vintage car. To you, that car might be priceless, but to some, this would really be a piece of crap, whatever that is. So this is why I always say, when you come up with domain names and you ask me about what price should I be placing it at, I always tell you guys, price is really subjective. Okay, a person can pay $1 million for such domain name, and you have seen the NFTs and the digital arts. I mean, the ape, the literally, the 2-3 megapixel camera shot, I mean, it literally looked like that. Those apes sold for 3 million, 5 million, $10 million. What they were nothing. So always make sure it is a domain name, and a domain name is a virtual asset. You got to price it very nicely and very rightly. You got to do a lot of research. Okay, so while registering this, I went through a lot of domain names. This is where, I mean, as I've said, this was a part of my experiment. This is how experiments work, isn't it? So I put the domain name on sale with the price tag and with the make offer. I got the offer. I've shown you the screenshot. The reason I'm not showing you the name is because there are privacy concerns. And why didn't I pick any other high value sold domain name? Was simply because a lot of them are developed and there is confidentiality. And so please consider this, and I hope this helps. If this makes some sense to you, I would really be grateful. But to wrap this up again, so that you don't get into a mess, that first of all, go through the keyword and research about the niche that you want to invest. Then go through the keywords again and again. .com, if you go for .coms are really easy to flip than any other domain extensions if you're looking for a quick flip. Okay, so I'm talking about what quick flip means is anywhere between $200-$300 to $1,500 to $1,000. People easily pay. Okay, I'm telling you that. And the third thing, check about other domain name extensions registered with this. So let's say vintagecar.com. And if you see vintagecar.org is registered, vintagecar.info is registered, and every other domain extension, then vintagecar.com, if that's available, that would make this domain name very much valuable. So always look for the reasons why it would make it more valuable. For me, I was looking for the keywords, and I did found other keywords that were being registered. So for me, that made this domain name valuable. And last but not the least, have a lander that says something. Okay, this says something. So this can be flipped again and again and again and again. So then comes the pricing part. You can price it for $1,000, for $1 million, but always know the domain name's value hold in the keywords and the trends. If the trends are good, you might get more. If there is no trend, you might end up selling and getting nothing out of it. So I hope this helps.